This mouse around. Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am blessed and honored to be here with my good friend, John Zilka, president of NRI Relocation. John, how's it going today?
It's going great. It's great to have you here in person at NRI in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. It's great to be back.
So I know you're probably like, what do you mean in person? Like, no, we're actually like sitting like 2 inches away from each other right now. But no, this is actually a good setup. We're trying some new things. This whole live thing is kind of a new thing. So let us know how it's going. What do you think? Is this cool? Should we keep this whole live and in-person thing going? Let us know who you are, where you are, what you're doing right now. Give your company a shout out. Throw it in the comments. Hit that like button a whole bunch of times. Let everybody know we're live right now. This is really cool, John, being back in person.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. It feels great to see you again. It's been a while. This format's cool, though. We kind of talked about it. We wanted to do it in person, but kind of not have that side-to-side shoulder thing going. Try to get the normal profile that the viewers like. So, yeah, let us know what you think. We're trying it out.
Yeah, let us know. I'm over here checking LinkedIn as well. Throw your questions and comments on LinkedIn. Let us know how we're doing out there. I want to know your comments. Here, let's see if it's
yeah, Ben's kind of created like a little studio here essentially in the NRI office. So we're in our interior lounge space. We have a conference room, obviously kitchen and whatnot, but we created this interior space for meetings, presentations, etc. And behind me is our floor essentially. So that's where all of our relocation consultants and associates hang out and do their work. So you're getting that interior glass profile shot, newsroom style. So
should we give them a tour?
Maybe at the end. Let's
see how far we get. So I'm trying to find this on LinkedIn. Stacy, are we live on LinkedIn? She says no.
Here we go.
So there must be a firewall with the NRI Wi-Fi. Oh, this is tremendous. All right, but we are on Facebook and YouTube right now, so we got a few people coming in right now.
Hop on over there.
Hop on. Would somebody do me a favor? Would somebody put the link for this to Facebook and the link for this to YouTube? Post it on LinkedIn for me, because I want to make sure that we get everybody, because I'm sure there's people looking for. Oh, there it is. We're on. We're money there. We're finally on LinkedIn here.
There we go.
Awesome. I was freaking out a little bit. This literally happened last time. John, remember what happened last time?
Yeah, the first time we tried this was January 2020, and we were in our conference room, and we tried to go live about 2 or 3 times.
It was, you know when it was? It was like 2 days after Kobe Bryant passed away.
Right. Yeah, we were doing sports stuff.
We were going to do like a Kobe tribute thing.
Right. And we had 2 viewers.
We had two.
Yeah,
we had two. And then at one point,
your show was still like on the ground running, like trying to get picked up, trying to get syndicated, and
picked up by a network or even like FX or anything.
So this is, if you count that show that we had 2 viewers, this is technically my 3rd appearance. I was on the show about a year ago this time talking about Restart Relo.
Yeah.
And so this is number 3, and so you got kind of the all-timer coming up tomorrow, Chuck White. I think he's probably the number 1.
Chuck White is becoming the Steve Martin of Love and Relo. He's probably been on 10 times. He's easy as a Sunday morning. He's always there for me. Appreciate you, Chuck. We're doing a live week this week. So yesterday we were in Milwaukee. Today we're in Chicago. Thursday, we're going to be in Dallas with Hosea from Aversal, Hosea Botley from Aversal. In fact, I see him checking in. Let us know. Get in the comments right now. If you just joined on LinkedIn, let us know who you are, where you are. How's the live thing treating us? What do you think? This is our first time doing it. I feel like they should see the setup here. It's kind of, it's wild, y'all. It's wild. Tim Quirt checking in. John and Ben, hashtag I am Western New York. Fixed your LinkedIn issue. Thanks, Tim. Look at that, man, coming in. That's great. Hosea Botley, hello, John and Ben. What's up, Hosea? Hosea, give me a question for John Zilka. He's got to answer. He's on live TV. Jill Parteka, hi. Jill at Deluxe Suites. What's up, Jilly? Look at this. Lion 27, hello, nice to meet you. My wife's calling me right now.
And are we going up against an ERC session right now?
Yeah, I think we are. I think we have about 20 people. I think ERC session probably is about 20. Should I take this call from my wife or no?
It's your show. It's your show.
Hey, honey, I'm on LinkedIn Live. I got a show thing that I do every once in a while. Is it urgent? Everything. Love you too. All right. She it wasn't urgent. We're good. Anyway, let's see. Stacy checking in. Hey, John and Ben, looking forward to the show. What's up, Stacy? Super producer Stacy. She's the best. Hey, guys, I see you both. Greetings from smoking hot Toronto. Olivia.
All right.
I'm assuming that's Olivia Bacrano.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Not my wife, Olivia. Different Olivia. Tim Quirk, just kidding. It was Stacy. You can make a career taking credit for what Stacy does. I mean, Stacy is thebomb.com. People in Costa Rica are checking in. Scott Williamson. From Scott at TSI in Dallas. Scott, I owe you lunch, man. Not bad. Lynn, this is awesome. John, we're going to be talking about a lot of things today.
It's normally my style. Normally an industry rundown of topics and current thoughts and where things stand. So, yeah.
So I want to know, we got a list of topics here, and we're going to kind of give you a teaser, but I want to know what you think. What should we be talking about today? Throw it in the comments, and we will riff on it. Throw in your questions for John. We're going to be talking about the reloads, reawakening.
Just took 1 year, a little longer than I projected last year. But
what was your initial projection when we talked for the second time and reloads went to bed?
Yep.
What was your projection on how long it would take for the reloads to come out of hibernation?
Well, yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is kind of the story of 2020, which I think is similar to most people in our space. So January, February of last year, super hot start, I think, for most in the industry. Then obviously March comes and everything goes.
Yeah, it was a scorching hot first quarter.
Highest January, February's I think most companies had all time, potentially. And then all that came to a halt in March, right? We're all at our houses, shut down, et cetera. And we get through April, we get through May. We have our show in June. You start to hear, communities about reopening bit by bit. It's summer, it's hotter out. So we had the whole restart reload thing. The industry saw an uptick in June, July from some of that spring demand that was suppressed and then kind of showed itself. I think people had decent Julys, maybe August. And then when you got to the fall, number one, you had an election. So typically in a presidential election year, volume drops a little bit.
Is that typical? Do you see that from an RMC standpoint? Every election year, there's a wait and see period?
Yeah, in those September, October months, definitely you see a little bit of a dip.
Okay, I want to ask you this. While we're on this though, because I heard a Freakonomics podcast about this. There was a Freakonomics podcast that says it basically doesn't matter who the president is for the economy. I mean, we think it does. There's a lot of narrative around it, but life goes on. Question: there's a wait and see around the election. Does relocation volumes after an election change one way or another?
I don't really think so. I mean,
and
it's probably psychological.
I
think it's all psychological that people just want to status quo because we're at the height of politics season, in those 2 months running up to it, after the summer's over. And people just kind of sit and wait. And then things, tend to come back, as normal, regardless, of who wins. So there was that drop, in the fall. Then you had the fall and winter virus surge, obviously that, made people hesitant and whatnot. Get through the holidays. So a typical low winter season, springboarding into 2021.
Well, when you say typical low winter season, though, was it typical or was it like directionally similar, but the baseline was so much lower that it was
tad lower than a normal lower winter season.
Right.
So a tick below that.
So a tick below a terrible month.
Right. and then January, February, at least for us, was fairly back to status quo of what a typical January and February would be historically. So our averages were pretty much hit those 2 months. And then March, April, and now May, just a total uptick, just massive. So
let me ask you this. So this is a question I love asking people, right? If March of 2018, because 19 was a crazy year, good year, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 18. Let's say 18's baseline.
Okay.
March of 2018.
Yep.
Compared to March of 2021. If March of 2018's 100.
Yep.
What's March of 2021 like?
Well, for us here, it's at 100. We are 100. On track.
So March is 100. Is April? Yeah. What's April? If April is 100 of 18, what's April of 2021? Is it
105, 110?
110.
Yeah. So
up 5%, up 10%.
We are, at least at NRI, we're slightly eclipsing 2018's pace right now, I would say.
Nice.
In April, we had our highest April revenues of all time. Yeah. We had our highest order count of all time in April.
In April of all time.
April. All time. And
now is that due to, is that,
years.
And we've got questions coming in left and right. I'm going to get to all these questions. We're going to shout people out. We got Francine, Ralph, Valerie, Lynn, Elizabeth, DJ Lizzie Beats in the house. Gonna see you later, Liz. Hopefully don't cancel them. Hispanics in the house is awesome. Keep those questions coming. Keep those comments coming. We're gonna get to all those. I can read comments today. I promise. I fixed that yesterday.
You can see now.
I could see a little bit. Janet was clowning me, saying I need glasses. Janet, if you're out there, I apologize. I was mean yesterday. But I wanted to ask you though, when you say April, May, best April, May ever,
yeah,
is that due to factors outside of the COVID / not COVID? Like, is it due to like excellent sales efforts or some mega client that came on, right, like some other kind of extreme?
Yeah, there's always a combination with any RMC and where they are with their client base and whatnot. So here's kind of my general thoughts. So in 2020, I think most of the industry saw at least a 15%, reduction. Most were 20, 25%, whether it's order volume or gross revenue, sales, et cetera. So we were in that boat, and kind of what led to that within our client base were the smaller to mid-sized programs for us really kind of sat on the sidelines, where relocation was maybe not a huge cultural part of their company. It was an easy thing to kind of nix and wait and see and just kind of ride out. So relocation was not really a part of their culture. So it was an easy thing to just kind of cut and wait.
Okay. So smaller programs were more adversely affected than larger programs.
Correct. With order volume and obviously subsequent revenue, down the line.
Less mature, less sophisticated, right, less robust programs were more adversely impacted. Interesting. Right. Okay.
And then our larger accounts, who I would say are more mature and have very nice defined, policies and different tiers, they had a dip in March and April, like everybody, but in the summer they came back. They kind of pushed through it. Relocation was a part of their HR benefit culture, and they really, quite frankly, saved us. That our larger accounts did not have a massive dip like some other RMC's larger accounts may have had. So we were not like we don't have a lot of technology based client base of clients. So we didn't have we're doing nothing for all of 2020 kind of reaction for some of our clients. Our larger clients tend to be, for lack of a better word, maybe more of a blue collar industry, if you will.
Okay, I was going to ask you what kind of sectors. Yeah. By the way, we're all vaccinated here, so that sneeze was purely allergies. I want to just put that out there. But yeah, so what sectors are? I'm sorry, I cut you off. What sectors are you guys?
Yeah, so our top 3 or 4 clients are, if you look at their industries, are very kind of more blue collar-y based. They're based more, to be frank, in the South. Just kind of a different cultural.
Which is not where you are, by the way. Where are we right now?
Yeah, so we're in Buffalo Grove, Illinois. We are just north of Chicago, about 25.
Chi-town, in the Chi. Can't wait. I'm going out tonight in the Chi. I'm very excited about it. Sorry, that was the non-sequitur. Yes. Clients in the South, sorry.
Yeah. So I think all those kind of matter. And unfortunately in our industry, and not really most industries, through COVID, COVID created winners and losers, quite frankly. And you were kind of at the mercy of your client base. So where are they located? What's their culture? How comfortable are they with people moving? How comfortable are their employees with moving?
You said COVID created winners and losers, but was there a way that we could have affected whether or not we were a winner or loser?
I don't think so. Because there was no, I don't think so. Because there was too much news, too much apprehension, fear, hesitancy in the general society that I don't think there's anything we could have done to help get people through that. to get them to the point where they're going to be comfortable.
Because you're saying
it's not like
relocation volumes are out of your control.
Right. It's not like our supply chains didn't do amazing things to respond to COVID overnight and create safe environments for transferees, right? Whether it's a moving company, real estate agent, temporary housing, hotels, etc. They put in all the protocols. So it's not like they didn't try or they didn't have unsafe environments. Just people psychologically were not ready to move forward. And it was entirely a wait and see. And so that's why you're really at the mercy of your client base, right? What industry, what's their culture like? Regionally, where are they located? Is it a more open state versus a more closed state? I think all those factors, play into into a company's mentality, as well as the individual transferee's comfort level with wanting to relocate amidst all this.
All right, that's a great that brought us to present day. We've got a bunch of topics. We're going to be talking about CRC event. We're going to be talking about lump sum. We're talking about technology, work from home, supply and demand, pent up demand, all the buzzwords. We've got people checking in here. I want to go ahead and shout everybody out because I love y'all out there. Let's see here. Oh man, we got questions coming in too. We're also going to have some fun questions too because John's here and John gives me some leeway. They probably should, or I don't know, he shouldn't do, but he gives me some leeway to have some fun here and talk maybe sports and other things like that. So let's see here. We got Michael checking in. That's awesome. Lynn is in the house. That's fantastic. We got Francine in the house. Quick question, super important question. John, are you ready? Jose Abatley, will the Trojans win the Pac-12?
I mean, they should. I mean, it's USC. There's no excuse not to. But
so, I mean, they chronically underperformed?
The last 15 years since I've been there.
Since you walked over, since you left.
It's been 15 years since I've been there. What do you expect?
15 years later, 3 Heisman Trophy winners, and John Zilka leave. Right. And then program tanks. Gosh.
It's correlation.
A huge correlation. Strong R there. Let's see here. Next question here from John Habanik. Keep these questions coming, funny or otherwise. John Habanik, hey, fellas, curious to hear what Jay-Z's take on the bubble surge of business looks like. Timing, location. I'm sure it's on your list. Yeah, it is on the list, John. Thanks for stealing my thunder. Appreciate that. No, John Habanik, just kidding. You want to tackle it? Yeah, let's tackle it.
Well, what do you think it means by bubble surge?
I think it means the pin-up demand, like the tsunami of relocation that's coming.
So we kind of got to the present now, right? I said March, April, May. I said a really big uptick for us. So here's kind of how I think our client base has responded, and that's really all my frame can come from. So those larger mature clients that I mentioned that kind of pushed through last year, they're full throttle this year. They're fully back. They're not apprehensive. There's no hesitancy. I think they had some extra pent up demand that didn't fully come through last year, that they're closing that gap and, off to the races. Let's get back to business. And then you're seeing those small and mid-sized clients I mentioned that were on the sidelines are now not on the sidelines. So they're coming back to us with.
Why are they not on the sidelines? They thought relocation was not important enough to preserve, or was an easy cut, listen, we were making a lot of deep cuts last year. So I shouldn't say easy cut. I shouldn't minimize it. They felt like it was cuttable in. What changed, do you think, in their psychology?
Just everyone's general psychology has changed, right? So whether it's vaccine rollout, whether it's the mask pullbacks, different states are in way different, reopening phases. Some have been back for months, and some are just coming out of it. I think all that plays into, a company's, viewpoint. And so, kind of what I've been sharing on LinkedIn is that, we're seeing this surge, if you will. Larger mature accounts coming back full throttle. Small to mid-size are perking their head up. They're asking about policies. They're trying to get estimates. We're getting authorization forms all of a sudden where we haven't had one in 12, 13 months. And so those companies are going to come back at different paces for the same reasons I mentioned before, based on where they're located, what their comfort level is as a culture, how have their business needs changed. So I see 2021 here in our space to be very good. I mean, it should be a very decent, good year for most relocation companies as all these companies emerge out of the 2020, lull, if you will. And I think that'll spill into 2022 because each company will come out at a different pace.
Yeah. How long are we going to have this halo effect of the emergence?
I would say for at least 12 months into 2022, probably through 2022 summer. And then assuming COVID is a distant memory at that point. Then you're getting into, what effect does work from home, virtual have on our industry, the long-term.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about that. I want to get into it as well. Yeah. You remember what happened? I mean, you were around, right, when the Spanish flu hit? You remember what happened after that?
Yeah, Roaring 20s, right?
Yeah, Roaring 20s.
So will we have another one?
Are we going into the Roaring 20s? Are we going into the Roaring 20s?
For 1 or 2 years. And then I think we have some long-term macro issues that could have a problem. I'm not entirely convinced.
The Great Depression of the 30s?
No, not that. We're not going to have that. But in terms of the relocation industry in itself, there are some long-term threats. I think some people are more pessimistic than others about those threats. But, so we're going to have a good run here, I think, for a year or so. And then we'll have to wait and see.
All right, you talk about threats, and I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna keep pulling this thread, right? It's like a really crappy sweater. I'm just gonna pull this thread right and see what happens. See this whole thing falls apart. You mentioned some long-term threats people are pessimistic about, and I even have been pessimistic. I'm trying to be optimistic. Right. It's kind of my thing. What's my brand? I want to be optimistic. Let's stay optimistic here. Yeah. Tell me a story where relocation emerges better than ever over the next 10 years?
Well, I think it's where the virtual and work from home settles, because I do think companies, especially white collar ones, will have to have a flexible approach, a hybrid approach, if you will. The key is, are they okay with the employee living and staying anywhere, or do they still want them to relocate within striking distance of the office so they can come in 2 to 3 days a week, or come in when needed for strategic items or client meetings or whatever? If it's the latter, where we still want you within striking distance of our office, then we're okay, right? Because they still have to relocate within that metropolitan area or whatnot. I think that's the key. And it's where do those companies lie on that? And again, it's going to come down to your client base and what approach they take, right? If they say we're all virtual, work from anywhere, we're not worried about the state you're in, the tax liability, we'll figure that out. Then if that's your client base, and that's a little bit more risky.
Okay, you're right. You're right, and we can't control can we? Can we control what our clients decide to do, or maybe control is the wrong word? Can we influence? Do we have influence?
Not the people actually making those decisions.
Okay, let's assume we don't for a moment. How do we capture a bigger share of the spend? How do we provide more services? How do we re-engineer our USP?
Trying to get to the hand raisers, you mean, or the company that'll pay you to move to South Dakota?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm asking. It's kind of an art of the possible, kind of like, blue sky, fill in the buzzword here, right? Like, how do we say, okay, let's assume work from home is increasing and has been for a while. Let's assume there's a lot of macro factors that are outside of our control. Let's assume we can't make companies relocate people because, we take orders, we don't give them. But how do we, the company's spending money in other ways. So how do we go and make ourselves available and provide services and provide value, unique value to companies in adjacent product lines, adjacent services, to make ourselves increasingly relevant?
That's probably just, it's expanding probably the COD personal move offering. So
interesting.
Creating a menu of services that basically be another HR benefit that the company's not paying for or supporting, but it's a guide, it's a tutorial, it's a list of good suppliers, or it's the same model where it's a consultant, but we're going to help you on a personal level. It's all going to be COD to you. But
COD, we have cash on delivery, consumer.
Right. So we have vetted moving suppliers that we think are better than an internet search. We have real estate agents in South Dakota that can help you find something if you really want to move there for whatever reason. So it's creating a personal move program and making that into another HR benefit. And if the company's promoting work from anywhere, or we support you, oh, by the way, here's a solution that we can offer you as this company, as a company benefit, to help you make that move, through our relocation partner.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I've got a follow-up question on that, but I see a lot of questions coming in here. Hit that like button. If you came in late, hit that like button right now. Get in the comments. I want to hear your question. I got Val here, Ralph here, Lizzie Beats here, Jen Breen. What up, Jen? Can't wait to see you tonight. Let's see here. We've got Lynn. Lynn, we're gonna prioritize your questions. I got a ton of questions. John's got things he wants to talk about. We can go a little long. I'll get John stuck in some rush hour. It's cool. Maybe we'll take a little tour.
Hey, rush hour is back, by the way. That's another indicator that people are changing psychologically. Has ever been on the roads and metros? I mean, traffic is coming back to how it was, definitely.
Am I gonna have problems getting downtown tonight?
You will.
Yeah. Can't wait. It's part of getting. It's like oh, I can't wait to get back to the airport. And my feet hurt after taking 11,000 steps yesterday and some dress shoes. I can't wait till I'm getting no sleep at night and sleeping in a terrible bed. And can't wait. Lynn says, what is your perspective on international relocation? I feel like we're talking a lot about domestic. I feel like we're talking a lot of U.S. based, but what are your thoughts on international, John?
I mean, similar, but a slower, more dragged out pace, I think. I mean, NRI only does about 10 to 15% global moves on an annual volume. And most of our global clients, I would call them unsophisticated. We're not dealing with massive global, programs and whatnot. So my view is skewed very much so towards U.S. But global, I mean, it'll have its country to country issues. And because of all that friction, depending on the country combination of that move, it's just probably going to be a longer recovery, more dragged out than kind of what we're seeing here in the U.S.
Yeah.
As it relates to, our space and orders and volume and revenue, et cetera.
Yeah, Val. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about what they're seeing and anticipating. Keep those questions coming. Michael Cadd says international relocation will pick up later in 2020. What are you hearing about? I know it's not a huge focal point for you guys, but what are you hearing, John, around what the domino that has to fall to unleash the pent-up demand of international relocation?
I don't have a good answer for that. Like I said, I mean, all the different country combinations, and they all kind of have their own rules.
And they all have to, you have to be open on both sides, right? It's like the old fax machine. Well, you can't have one fax machine. You have to have both sides, people, stable populations.
Yeah, I mean, every country's different government, different vaccine distribution, different access to that kind of stuff. We're blessed in the U.S. with what we're able to figure out.
Super blessed.
Much more faster than others.
Well, and there's the access
that's
to
vaccine. Delay
and
and push out.
Yeah, the access to vaccine. I mean, we are truly blessed and privileged in this country. I mean, we're at 50% of the population is vaccinated right now. No critical mass was supposed to be, I think, 70% from CDC coming in to get herd immunity. I think we're starting to see COVID cases decline. I think we're starting to see, there's certain hospitals, that have no cases right now. And we're not out of the woods, but there's a lot of daylight. And here, me and John are sitting across from each other right now, vaccinated without masks, doing our thing. So that's exciting. I'm hearing actually, it was funny. We interviewed some people from Singapore earlier in the year. They said they didn't anticipate having vaccine until October, but she got her first shot recently. So vaccine rollout's been doing well and being kind of ramped up. We're starting to vaccinate teenagers now here in the U.S. So again, super fortunate here. Jen Breen checking in. Janet Turner, my heart. What's up, Janet? Hope you're doing well. Ralph Berkeley, hi, Ben and Jay-Z. Was this Jay-Z thing a thing for a long time? I want to take credit for it. I feel like it's impossible to do so.
Because of the rapper, so it's always kind of followed me since then.
Give me a year. 97, Reasonable Doubt.
High school, I don't know. When was Jay-Z's
96
Black album or whatever?
A Black album, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
Okay.
People like to say Jay-Z because of that.
All right. Every time I say it, I get like an eye roll, even on the telephone. It's like, all right. Cool. Got it. Let's see. Janaina, newest member of Glomo, checking in. What's up, Janaina? It's good to see you. Awesome. Jurgen from Mexico, but there's not a lot of Jurgens in Mexico. It's good to see you, buddy. Larry, Betsy, you got to come out to the pier tonight, Betsy. Twist your arm. Betsy's not doing it. She's a serious woman. She's got business to do. Faye, hey guys, curious, what are you seeing on the appraisal side of things internally compared to offers your transferees are receiving on their home sales? John's nodding knowingly. Did you plant this question?
No. It's a tough. I mean, that's a good one. That's a tough one. Appraisals, they're tough. It's tough to keep up. I mean, so we do see situations where, obviously, with real estate and appreciation, buyers are putting up big offers because they want to win it because they're competing against 20 others. And there's these escalation clauses. You know about these, Ben, on these offers? These escalation clauses.
Tell me. I've heard rumors. I mean, is it like, okay? I've heard rumors. I think my dad had one in his house. Tell me what it is, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think I told him.
Yeah. So long story. It's basically just when someone puts in an offer, they'll basically say how high they're willing to go if there's a competing offer.
But this to me makes no sense. I'm going to tell you why.
So I'll escalate my offer above a competing one up to, $1 million, $1.2 million, whatever they're.
If you tell me what your high point is,
right.
Roger Dawson would be rolling over in his grave right now. If you told me what your high point is, then it just becomes my job to find somebody that's going to put an offer in,
right.
legit or otherwise, for, somebody tells me they're going to go up to 310. I got to find somebody that's going to go to 309.
But when there's 20 other offers, the odds are you'll find that.
So then what happens if they all have escalation clauses? Then it just goes up to the highest bid.
Right. So I have some personal real estate agent friends who are telling me about these. It's really hard to manage. I mean, they're used to 1 or 2 offers on a listing, and now they got to juggle 15 to 20 and rank them and make sure they're reading every person's escalation clause the correct way to see who comes out on top before they go back to whomever. It's a jumbled mess on that, But anyway, so we'll get back to the appraisals. Yeah, I mean, appraisals have a hard time keeping up. So, and normally they're a little behind the buyer's market on what the appraised value is. So sometimes this great offer, the buyer has to come up with cash to cover the difference from the appraised value because the lender won't do anything beyond that. So they got to come to closing with more cash or whatnot.
How often is that happening?
I can't tell you that.
It's not happening.
I'd have to talk to our team.
I'm thinking it's not, Faye. How often is that happening, Faye? Because I think it's not happening as much as it should be happening.
What part?
Well, I think the offers are getting crazy.
Yeah.
But I think the appraisals are following the offers. Here's where I go with that. I got an offer that I thought was high on my house. Super stoked. Got a lot of them. Right. So maybe that's the market.
In Michigan, right?
In Michigan, in Detroit, yeah. So, and that was, gosh.
What month was that again?
Well, I mean, we listed it. I had Christmas decorations out. We listed it after Christmas. No, we listed in December. We listed like December 17th. Right. Super hot month for listings in Detroit, Michigan. Right. But it was like, just get it on the market. We don't know how long this frothy market's going to last. It turns out probably could have held it in another 40 grand
5
in my
months
house.
later.
Right. Anyway, no regrets. #. So I listed it. We got all these offers. I was like, and then we had issues with the inspection because they're home, whatever. Get through that part, and then it's like, well, I still got to appraise. And I was like, well, what if it doesn't appraise? And my realtor was like, don't worry, it'll appraise. I'm like, okay, because 3 years ago this house sold for $80,000 less, than it sells, than now, which was, I mean, it was, 500. So it was like a 20% increase in 3 years.
Yep. Right.
And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. And then like when the appraiser comes in, greet them, be real nice to them, show them around, some of the updates. They did a desktop appraisal. They didn't even come to my house.
Really? Drive-bys? Algorithm did it?
Algorithm did it.
Yeah.
It was a relocation appraisal.
Yeah.
The person that was buying it was relocated. So that tells me that they're not really looking that close. Now, it could have been, is there a shortage of appraisers? Was there like some kind of supply and demand issue? Was it COVID? I don't know. They didn't even look at it. Mm-hmm. So if they're not really scrutinizing it, because I'm gonna put words in Jack's mouth. I don't know where Jack Jampel is today, but Jack would say this market is not sustainable and we're setting ourselves up for some sort of a crash situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't think everyone kind of gets that we are in a appreciation bubble. But interesting, I read an article today that, I mean, the fundamentals on this one compared to 05, 06 is this one is really purely a supply and demand issue. That's going through our entire industry. We can get into that kind of next year.
It's a supply and demand issue, but it's a temporary supply problem.
Correct.
Some of it is. Yeah, no, it is.
But it's also a temporary demand issue too, and it's all happening at once. So you have your supply issue of there's not as many homes being listed. The builders can't create new housing fast enough because they kind of laid low last year. And, to buy land and to get regulatory approval and now to buy lumber and actually build a house in a community. I mean, there's time there. So the supply's not there because you don't have enough sellers. And then we have all these buyers. We have this essentially nationwide a rush to the suburbs the last 12 months here.
The suburbanization, which we've been talking about for a while.
You coined it 12 months ago.
I was trying to coin that term. Of course, now I'm hearing maybe not. But anyway, okay, so let's play this through, right? Last time, it all came home to roost because the ARMs expired. The adjustable rate mortgages expired. Now all of a sudden, now I'm paying this ridiculous price. I can't afford it, and I got to go. But it was exacerbated also by the, I don't know, maybe the financial crisis was precipitated by the credit crisis, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, point is, people's ability to earn went down. My thought is, you're right. This is different, except because our ability to afford the home doesn't change. Yeah, we might have overpaid for it. Maybe we're stuck in it for a while, but our ability to afford our mortgage doesn't change. We're not going to foreclose and just walk away from things. However, the thing that gets me is rapid inflation. If you have rapid inflation or hyperinflation, and all of a sudden now your dollar's not going for another thing, now all of a sudden you can't afford your mortgage. Is that that could be the thing that remains to be seen yet, I think, on this.
Right.
So, but anyway, it's a positive show. Hey, we're in Chicago hanging out.
But one outtake for that, I think, is if you have transferees who, so basically the transfer experience right now is a great home selling experience. Oh, I got all these offers. I got a great price. My equity is amazing. Thank you. And then they struggle in the new area to find a place for those same reasons. So, and then when they do find something, most likely they're paying more than they would have same house a year ago. So the interesting thing will be in 2 or 3 years from now, if that same transferee has to relocate again for that company,
right,
they're probably going to take a loss compared to what they bought it for today versus what they're selling it 3 years from now.
Loss on sale, is it coming back?
It's a loss on sale, in their mind. Question is, are they going to be asking their employer to cover that difference? Right? It's not a loss on sale in like a guaranteed buyout where we gave you this deal transferee and then we had to take it into inventory and market it and we resold it at a lower price. So that's on a home sale program. That's a client's loss on sale.
Got it.
This is more, hey, I bought it for $6. I'm now going to resell it 3 years later for $500. If your company gives you a BVO, they're not taking a loss on sale on that $500. But your transferee may ask you, hey, you're asking me to move again. What are you going to do about this $100K I lost? And that's equity I think I should have. So what are you going to do about it? So that'll be the client decision of the future here, short term. What's going to happen then? It'll be very, very interesting.
It feels like we as an industry, though, should be starting to socialize those scenarios and situations now so that they gain ground within the greater HR community.
We've started to with our clients. But in the moment right now, it's not something they normally want to dive deep on or really think about. They're trying to get through this year's issues.
Yeah.
But we just know it's going to be an issue, a couple of years from now, unavoidable problem. And on the top of that is if you give them that loss on sale assistance that way, you got to gross that up. So now we're adding multiples. So yeah, difficult conversations on the horizon for an RMC. Yeah.
This is awesome. Hit that like button out there. I want to hear your questions and comments. We're going to go over, John. I'm sorry. We're both hitting traffic.
That's fine.
It's cool. It's a celebration. We're here live. We're here together, right? This is great. We got great questions coming out. Quigley's checking in, saying it's crazy. Our place went up $125K in 5 months. Yep. Quigs, you going to sell that and take the money off the table, or are you going to hold those cards? What are you going to do? When's the market coming back down? Dying to know. Dano in Vegas. What up, Dano? Jody Jody, good to see you. Hey there from Wisconsin. What's up, Jody? Just in your neck of the woods. I'll be back tomorrow morning from grab coffee. Jody Harris says COVID allows people to work from home, so commute is less an issue. More suburb and rural buyers will be interested to see how return to normal hits traffic patterns.
But it's also interesting. We have a high-level CEO, one of our clients. He's coming to Chicago. He's interested in a high-rise, condo to purchase. You can get good deals. So it's kind of the flip side.
In the city, yeah.
So the suburbs are, so over the top, but a high-rise in a downtown we're not getting 20 buyers or 20 offers. Buyer has a little more leverage, and so you can get good deals if you want to be city living, or you believe the cities will come back, which they will. They will come back. We're talking about, it's not like they're going to be dead forever. They're coming back. It's just a matter of when. You can get a good city deal if you believe that.
I love it. There's the optimism right there. Go get a condo in downtown Chicago. Sounds good. Maybe I'll tour some tonight if a realtor wants to take me out and show me some places. Mike Falia tuning in a little late. Good to see you, John Zilka. We are blessed in the U.S. where we are so blessed. Let's see. Jill Rush, agree with all John has had to say today. Thank you for the great conversation and insights. Jill, what's up? It's good to see you. All right, I got a couple other questions.
Want to do supply chain stuff here? It's all over the map.
Yeah, I mean, dude, hey, man, it's your dime, your dance floor, dude. You want to talk about supply chain? Let's talk about supply chain.
Well, I mean, let's talk household goods. I mean, you see some of that. Let's talk auto shipments. Give me your take on it. What are you hearing from your network when you text your Danline buddies?
The word on the street is blackouts are here. People are blacking out right now. I mean, the whole month of June, some people are saying, are blacked out. Yep. Are you seeing that?
Yep, sure. Yeah, our message to clients end of April, early May was, if you have a relo order you know about, tell us as soon as you know it, so we can get to our supply chain and try to book that out, because it's 5 to 6 weeks. If not, like you said, blackouts.
Talk about pent up demand. What a pent up supply. Like there are no men in trucks. If you you got two yokels and a U-Haul, you can make some money right now out there. There is nobody.
Is your WhatsApp?
Is my WhatsApp? So you know what? My WhatsApp got real active lately. It's funny you say that. So for all of you who don't know, or you recent listeners out there, John's referring
to that dark web?
The dark web of Relo out here.
That must be hot.
The dark web of Relo is on fire right now. You see all that tonnage? You see all that?
What is it in cubic square feet?
All that, it's right there, Johnny. Look at that. It's all that dirty tonnage out there on the street.
Cubic feet.
Look at this. I even put the person's phone number out there. People can start calling this person.
There it is. Who wants a loop?
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. Tennessee, 800 cubic feet. Tennessee, 500 cubic feet. That's a trip. North Carolina, 700 cubic feet. South Carolina, 600 cubic feet. To give you guys an idea.
So that is someone's personal goods, and it's just a number to these guys.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
Exactly. And to give somebody an idea, 800 cubic feet times 7 pounds per cubic foot is 5,600 pounds approximate. So these are 5,600 pound to, there's a 1,400 cubic foot. Point being is there's a lot of shipments looking for trucks out there. Yeah. And this is what happens. Okay, you know what? I've been off the soapbox, the lump sum soapbox for a hot minute. Okay, Elena Anderson DeLay's been praying for me. I've been trying to get some peace around lump sums, but I'm back, okay? Because this is what happens, people. When you allow transferees to go on to the internet to book a move, this is what happens. They end up in these shady, look at this, truck trailer loading from Miami, space available, text Sergey. Sergey's just waiting. Sergey's got a hot truck. What's up, Sergey? I got an NRI shipment for you, Sergey.
Right, this is
load post ASAP. Please help me. Please help me. Sacramento, RFD, ASAP. Request for delivery, ASAP. That means you see all the fire, like
hot lead. That is someone's personal items.
Look at this: Seattle, Washington, Texas, South Carolina, Nevada.
Brokered out to God knows who, God knows what crew.
It just goes. It just goes forever.
Right.
The stories that are in here. And so all these people all these people whose stuff is being moved on here, these people went on the Google, move long distance mover to New York, and then Google.
What was
ads
your
pop
example?
up.
That one, like Sunshine Movers or something?
Oh yeah, Sunshine. I mean,
they're all based in what, Florida?
They're all in Florida. A lot are in
Jacksonville.
Chicago. Yeah, Florida. Some in Chicago. A couple in California. A lot in New York City. Evan Miller. That's great. I just Googled that phone number. That business is not BBB accredited.
Yeah, you went through all this. They probably don't have a license or anything. You went through that, right?
Yeah, exactly. People, two yokels in the U-Haul, great company name. Yeah, exactly. That one, yeah, for sure. Jody, household goods are delayed significantly.
Yeah, so I mean, it depends on the mover. How much crew did they retain? Did they have to let anybody go? But definitely their capacity is being stretched. They want to get things on the books as soon as possible. So we're telling our clients to let us know as soon as you can. But sometimes they don't know. So it kind of is what it is. You got to have a diversified supply chain to handle that. And on the auto side, I mean, seeing actually more issues on autos. So, they work through, trailer crews and whatnot. And those companies, they could have gone out of business. Or they're not coming back to work. They'd rather be on unemployment because of those extra federal perks or whatnot. Or I just found out today they could be utilizing the trailers in different ways. Yeah. So where they would have been pulling transferee cars, they're now pulling used cars. I guess used car sales are way up. So that's affecting trailer transport.
Well, so the chip supply is a huge shortage of chips that make computers for cars. So new cars have been dramatically delayed, which means an increase in used car sales, which also means a lot of rental car fleets are getting liquidated, which also means that, I know people that are going to, interviewed Chris Lagerman yesterday. He's going to Hawaii this summer. You know what the rental car charge was in Hawaii?
Insane. $1,000 a day.
$700 a day. $700 a day.
We're going to mention that. So car rentals. So transfers on home finding trips, return trips, doing rental cars. Going to be a lot more expensive in the short term. All these rental car companies, for obvious reasons, offloaded all of their rental car inventory.
Well, and Hertz basically went Chapter 11, didn't they?
Right.
Now they were salvaged. Actually, I think it turned around. They had some investors off of Reddit that basically tried to come in and save the company. It actually turned it around, and I think that company might get salvaged actually. But yeah, huge.
So home finding, travel costs are going to be up with car rental. It's going to be hard to find something. Yeah.
So crazy. Mike Falia ships cars. Says same is true in the car shipping industry. Bank capacity will be a very big issue this summer with so many small companies that went out of business during the pandemic.
There you go.
He goes on to say, crazy how the lack of chip supply for new cars trickled all the way down to our industry.
Good insights. Great insights.
It is great insights.
Not to mention lumber, right? We all know lumber's crazy. And
lumber also, lumber. We could talk forever about lumber, and we did talk for a while. But one of the things I thought was crazy, and we got Barb Hale from Deluxe Suites going to be on, and also somebody from Court Furniture is going to be on, because we're going to be talking about how shortages in wood and furniture due to wood, but even more so due to the backlog in shipping and all of the stuff. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we get in the US a lot of stuff from China and Asia, right? And everything that comes in through the Port of Long Beach, which is the largest port in the US, is dramatically delayed, including a lot of furniture that comes over there.
Yep.
So everybody buying furniture on Wayfair. It's all stuck out there.
So I mean, these are all the effects of, essentially, to be honest, stay-at-home orders last year, lockdowns, all that demand of those services obviously dried up. Supply chains and mills stopped production or greatly slowed it down, and people did not expect this quick of a rebound, I think. And it takes time to work that through. So in all these areas, they got to get the supply back up to meet the new demand. But the question is, will this demand be super fast now, then peter off, and then there'll be too much supply?
Well, and
because you can never match it up, perfectly. Right. So that'll be the next thing.
And you can't. I mean, listen, as a supplier, one thing I learned in the car rental business and the moving business and all these hyper seasonal businesses, you can't staff to the peaks. Can't establish peaks, and you definitely cannot purchase. You definitely cannot purchase assets to the peak volumes.
Right.
So you're going to see
this industry is a bell curve. Orders.
It is exactly. Yeah. I skipped a couple questions here, so my bad. I'm going to get some. Mary Piper checking in. What's up, Mary? Oh gosh, we got a couple questions here. I'm going to do this one first. Lion 27. I'm going to do Sandra's question. Lion 27 says, "How would it work promoting gift cards or special discounts while relocating our customers and clients and guests?"
Is that with like the consumer COD approach?
Yeah, I don't know, but I do have a consumerization question coming, so let's hold on that. Sandra Clary, to what degree is NRI modeling, beta testing the staffing models and advice that you're asked to provide guidance on for your customers? Work from home, work from anywhere, virtual onboarding, virtual cultural and inoculation, etc. Inoculation? Big word, Sandra. Knowing you, I know you've given this good thought. Fight on, knowing you. And she really teed you up on that one. I think she's also going back. I think this question also came when I was saying, okay, what can we offer our clients? What new value can we offer? I think some of this came out of that.
I mean, I'm flattered. You think I've thought this one through, but I haven't. But that's I think it's such a tough guess. I mean, it's
John's over here trying to find a truck. Okay, you're talking about sophisticated models and everything. He's like, I can't get a truck in Sacramento right now.
So. It's anybody's guess what the long-term effects of all this different viewpoint of work is. None of us will have a crystal ball. All we can do is go month by month and just see how it changes. But yeah, I mean, I would love to, test that out and see it. But I'm not there yet. But we're just trying to hang on here with our own order uptick, as I mentioned.
Advanced mathematical models Q3.
Sure, let's get through the summer.
Mary Piper says, "It's a great conversation. Car rental and furniture have not been on my radar." Hey, Mary, this is what we're doing for you, Mary. I hope you like it. Hit that like button, please. Appreciate it. Scott Williams says, "A hard stop, everybody. Super important." Elena, how are container-based moves? Are they also delayed?
Good one. I don't have that level of detail answer for you.
I do.
All right.
Yes, they are, Elena. Yes, they are. Okay. And they're super delayed because you still have the same reduced manpower in the business, right? So there's two models in the moving game, right? There's what I'll call the international model, which is a hub and spoke model. And then there's the domestic model, which is an irregular route model, right? Which means that one truck goes and does, picks up clients and drops clients and just kind of does this on the map, right? And the hub and spoke model says, I have a terminal here, warehouse, whatever. I go out, I pick up Miss Doe's stuff, I bring Miss Doe's stuff back, I containerize it, whatever, put it, and then I ship it via truck to the next terminal, essentially, right? Well, there's a manpower shortage at the terminals as well as the drivers. Just manpower shortage everywhere. Secondarily, the containers that are being used, sans 40-foot, 20-foot containers overseas, the small shipments, container-based moves, are being done in wooden containers. So now these lift vans that were $150 used, $250 new, are $595 new, $700 new, if you can get them.
Yeah, it will be a, if you're any service provider in our industry, you should be warning your clients about costs, because the average cost of a move this year will probably be the highest, if not one of the highest on average of all time. If you're doing a BVO, obviously if real estate is 100K over, your BVO cost is going up. All these other market forces are driving up auto shipment prices, creating costs for household goods companies. Like I mentioned, car rentals. We didn't even talk about temporary housing. Those that survived last year, they had to drastically cut their inventory. It takes a lot of guts to sign new inventory and hope that there'll be business to fill it.
Guts and luck.
So most are going to wait until it actually comes, which means in the short term, there's a run up and we got price and capacity issues. So
they're going to wait till it comes, and then they're going to say, all right, sweet, we got an order for 5 apartments. Now we got to furnish them up. Wait, where's the furniture?
Right.
It's on a boat.
And that's the smart business decision after what they went through last year. And so there's really no way of avoiding this. So you got to tell your clients about these cost pressure issues. because, Q1 2022, when we're having annual reviews and talking about average costs compared to other years, I mean, it could be a bloodbath when you look at the individual, cost per move differences.
Yeah, for sure. Super interesting. On a positive note, let's pivot this real quick.
What?
I saw something you posted recently. CRC, Chicago Relocation Council.
Yep.
In-person meeting.
Yep.
When's that? What's going on? What made you decide to do it?
So that is it's Thursday, June 10th. We'll be in the Chicago Botanic Gardens.
Stacy, can you grab a link to this? The CRC in-person meeting. Can we throw that in the comments?
CRCchicago.org is the website, I believe. So I joined the CRC board this year. I was invited by Jen Breen to join as treasurer. They had somebody who had to step off.
Treasurer. True or false? Worst job in the board.
No, not in a year like this because we haven't had as many events.
There's no money to track.
There's not as much money going in and out, so it hasn't been too crazy. But that'll start up now because we're going to have an in-person event in June. Going Thursday, June 10th, like I said, Chicago Botanic Gardens, really cool outdoor event. There's exhibits and flowers and shrubbery. It's really a beautiful scene. There's
shrubbery.
Yeah, I'm not the best botanical guy, but it's a very pretty site.
I hear there's flowers.
People really people enjoy it. So we went live on that, I think about 2 weeks ago, and we are almost sold out. And I believe today is the last day for early bird pricing. So if you are watching and you want to get out of your house and come to Chicago, and you can get clearance from your boss, we'd love to have you. We're very close to capacity, so there are some rules there still, but it will be half virtual too. So we're going to have some content that will be streamed live virtually for those that don't want to attend or can't. We do have some signups for there. But right now, we got about 75-ish coming in person all across the country have signed up. I see the registrations come in, so we're very excited about it. And so we as a board, we kind of wanted to be the first, or we saw this as an opportunity to be the first to kind of hopefully, inspire other regional groups, show confidence that these can happen, and the response has been great. And also there's ERC is in Chicago this fall, so we kind of wanted to kind of drum up some Chicago interest in general. So we think it was the right choice. Great reaction so far, and we can't wait.
So how come I wasn't invited to actually come and maybe do like a live thing under the canopy of the foliage and amongst the shrubbery?
I'm not on programming, so that's not my choice.
Typical treasurer answer.
I just cut the checks to who the programming team chooses. So you need to talk to them.
All right, obvious oversight. Okay, cool. No, that sounds awesome though. Really, really cool.
Yeah,
people are super stoked. It's so
fun.
funny.
I've already noticed Wisconsin ERC is now doing an in-person event later in June. I think it was just announced by President Matt Tobel. So I'm going to say that CRC inspired their action to do that.
Oh, 100%. Janet Turner said, "Good answer, John." That's awesome. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I talked to a lot of people, and they're all talking about the CRC event.
Good.
Like you would think it was an ERC event because people are like, "Hey, you want a CRC? You want a CRC?" And I don't know.
There's great branding in being the first, and so we wanted to capitalize on that.
Well, you guys did a great job with that, and that's awesome. And shout out to Jen Breen and everyone that made that happen. Super stoked about getting an invite to be there and broadcast live. Let's see. That one landed. All right, cool. Want to talk? We've got a solid minute, 2 seconds. I wanted to talk a little bit about technology because it wouldn't be a conversation with you without a conversation about technology. I remember the first video we did was in Seattle, and it was a technology conversation, and it was probably like the jankiest video I ever did since the first time we did it live here. And
we all start somewhere.
It was, you know what, humble beginnings, right? And I found that we were of like minds, and you were talking about ecosystems. You were talking about some stuff back then I thought was like kind of really progressive and ahead of the time. Has there been any movement on tech? What's the update? Have your opinions changed? What are your thoughts?
Opinion hasn't changed. I don't know. I just, in general, I think client-facing technology in this industry is overrated, and I think behind the scenes technology is underrated. And I have not moved on that point. Some think technology will fully disrupt this industry. Some think that a consumer moving model will eventually engulf our industry, where they're not going to want a handheld approach through a professional service provider, that the consumer moving model that will just become such the norm that everyone will just expect that through relocation and be perfectly fine with the company just giving them 40, 50K to go do it. I don't see that happening. If it were to happen, I think it's way, way, way out in the future, taking much longer to get there than people want to kind of pessimistically state.
And it's interesting you say COD, consumer, and all that kind of stuff, because when I asked you before to kind of think, okay, blue sky here, what do we do next in order to add value to companies? And one of the things you started talking about was, okay, do we create some kind of COD approach, some kind of affinity program? I mean, granted, I'll put you on the spot. We haven't talked about it a lot, but it seems like a natural evolution in thought to say, okay, we have this great supply chain. If people want to buy corporate services like they buy consumer services, maybe that's where we go with it. There's obvious hurdles and pitfalls there. But I want to ask you in general, do you see the business becoming consumerized? Do you see a consumerization of relocation?
Short answer, no. I mean, I just don't. I mean, if you're referring to like a Uberization of our space, I think those transactions are entirely different. Booking a ride point A to point B is by its nature very transactional, right? You're just moving yourself. It's quicker, it's faster, it's cheaper. Moving has many more components. It's much more of an emotional experience. Your personal things are being touched and handled. There's your whole family's involved. It's much more of a process. You can't get a quick cost estimate moving like you can on an Uber ride. That also kind of adds to that. There's just less strings attached on an Uber ride versus moving your life. Many, many miles. So I think because of that emotional and human and personal connection, I think it'll be very hard to kind of do that to us. Many companies have tried with their portals and their moving things, and I think it's pretty fragmented, and there's going to be a lot that'll try to do that. And some may rise better than the others, but I just don't see an engulfment like Uber has done to taxi cabs. That's going to really affect us.
I want to ask you another super crazy, unfair question. So somebody told me today they were talking to one of the foremost global mobility corporate side folks in the biz.
Yeah.
And they said that Workday one day could come in and just wipe out relocation, or just not wipe it out, take it over. I mean, I've heard this theory with Amazon. What are your thoughts on a company, an HRS company like Workday, who's just massive?
I think there's legs to that, and I would venture to say that there are some technology focused RMCs in our space that would love nothing better than they get bought by Workday. That's probably their end goal, with what they offer, and there'd be a market for that. I'm not going to disagree with that. I think it is a threat that's out there. Will it be adopted by everybody? No. And one thing I think it's one of these things with really any HRS system. The demo shows you everything 100% perfectly configured,
right,
blah,
right,
blah, blah.
Right.
What actually gets implemented and done on a daily basis?
Right.
I think it's a factor way, way less than 100%.
Yeah,
the demo looks great. But what happens in person?
Well, I mean, that's like the whole, like, we could call it brochureware, where it's like, it looks great on paper, but it doesn't really work. I mean, we kind of talked about that before with consumer and COD solutions in the space is it's kind of all sizzle, no steak, right? And I think, but now unfortunately people buy sizzle, right? Because, Sizzle is representative of steak.
It's a calculation, to have that sizzle in order to get the sale. I mean, I get it. And that's why a lot of RMCs have created a portal like that. And it's probably won them some business. Is it actually being used? I doubt it. Not to the level it's being sold to. But if that investment's worth it to that company to lead to that sale and everything else, BVOs, buyouts, home sale, or household goods, et cetera, then that's a calculation. But if we're talking about actual usage of technology in our space, I just think it's a lot more less than people would like to believe.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. Jennifer Rodriguez throwing that CRC event link in there. Go ahead and register. There's only a few spots left. So there's only a few spots total, or only a few early bird spots?
Kind of both. I think early bird ends today. So if you want to save 25 or $50 or something like that, I can't remember. But there is kind of a limit of the in-person. So
wow,
and that gap
seems like y'all should raise prices then. I mean, if you're almost sold out and you're still on,
we don't want to contribute to the supply demand issues on events.
Yeah, hyperinflation of regionals. Jennifer, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Jennifer, you're in Chicago. We're going out tonight. Holler at me. Let's see here. Any other questions? Throw them in there. I want to make sure that we have time to maybe get a tour, John.
Okay.
You might have to take the show on the road.
All right.
Could be fun.
Okay.
Could be an epic disaster, but whatever. We got Wi-Fi. But I know you also prepared a top 5. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
And I want to do it.
All right.
You ready? You ready for a top 5? Hey, you guys out there ready for a top 5? Throw a little support and love in the comments there. It's top 5 time. We have a few people who just love the top 5, John, and I think
they're hanging on.
They're top 5ers. Okay. I love it. I love you guys out there. You're the best.
So normally I'm more of a fan of the Relo side of your show. I normally don't dip into the love.
Yeah, you're always like more Relo, less love, more Relo.
So I don't know if I call this love, but it is a non-industry top 5.
Okay.
And all right. So
holler at me. What do we got here? Top. What's the subject here?
There it is.
You gotta say it.
Top 5 late night fast food chains or stops.
Oh, this might actually come into play tonight.
We're talking midnight. 12 to 3 a.m. stop. What are you doing? All right.
Dude, first of all, I got a couple questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1, this might come into play tonight. 2, are you giving me a curated tour of Chicago's finest? Late night.
No, these are known chains. We're sticking to the fast food chains.
Are you taking me to one of these?
Oh, am I? No, I can't. You tried to get me to come out, but I could not tonight. So whoever you're going out with.
First rule of improv, John.
If you're
always say yes, and okay. First rule of improv.
You're not going to want to go to these when you're in town. You're going to want to do something else. But I'm talking like just you got to get something. Name brand chains. What are the top 5 for late?
Yeah, well, 4th meal, but I mean, anyway. All right, not exclusive, but okay. Here we. Oh, look at this. We got people. People are already.
These aren't necessarily. There's some there is a regional one here, but it is more the chainy ones.
People are already in here in the comments. Before John gets started, right now, stop what you're doing. Get out of that email. Nobody cares what you're writing. Get in the comments and put your favorite late night fast food chain, 12 to 3 a.m. What are you hitting? Post ERC, post CRC. What are you hitting? Let me know, please. There we go. People are coming in. Sharon, thank you. Michael, thank you. Lizzie Beats, thank you. Francine, thank you. Elena, I don't see anything. You're conspicuously absent. Janet, let me know. Are you still out there? This is great. Evan Miller, I need to know what makes the hair grow. Let me know. Put it in there. John, hit me. Oh, Francine. Okay, I'm sorry. Number 5.
All right. So number 5, staple. They got to be on the list somewhere. We all have a guilty pleasure of McDonald's, right? There's something we go to there. They got to be on there. Whether it's the fries you need the salty snack at 1 a.m. You need the $1 Diet Coke fountain drink at 1 a.m. I mean,
is that what you're craving? The Diet Coke at 1 a.m., Johnny? That's what you're getting at 1 a.m. The Diet Coke?
Maybe kind of,
a Diet Coke.
Rehydrate a little bit.
You got to have some sugar, first of all, at that point. All right. Also, I want to know, I see them coming in. Everybody's coming in. What is your order at McDonald's? Because I need a new one. John, what are you getting at McDonald's?
Well, so I wish they never got rid of the chicken wraps. I was huge fans of those.
Yeah.
They ditched those a couple years ago.
It was like a chicken tender
you know what,
with like some shredded lettuce kind of deal.
No, it was like a snack wrap. Sorry, for
Okay.
those that remember.
Okay.
Anyways, you know what? I'm sometimes normally a kid at heart, man. I still get that 2 cheeseburger meal. You know, large size.
Okay.
I kind of go back to that. What are you doing?
I'm not going there. I'll tell you that.
You're going.
I'm an anti Mickey D's guy. To be completely honest with you, I take my kid there because he's like hooked on the hamburger and the fries and the toy and everything. After school on Friday, I pick him up. And,
so you're in an airport. You're on a road trip. You're not touching McDonald's. You can avoid it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's so many good options out there. I'm sure that's why it's last on your list. There's. See, Janet. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate you, Janet. Respect. Everybody's out here just like,
no. Everyone's got
John.
something.
Everyone's
got
totally.
something at McDonald's they go to. Guilty pleasure. Even if it's just French fries, you're doing something.
I mean, fries is okay, but I mean, you give them 5 minutes, they get cold, and it's like, what am I eating right now?
What you're supposed to do. Okay, first, don't have the bag like folded in. You gotta have air for those hot fries. Okay. I read this
because they don't get that way they get soggy, right?
Right. It's the worst, obviously. Okay, so like you
I
pick
think
it up,
cold is worse.
you pick it up, and then you're driving home. You got that 7-minute drive. You don't want to screw them before you get home. All right. So bag has to be open. Take the fry, turn it on its side. A little harder heat escape, but not super fast, not super slow.
Wow. So I always thought the person giving it to me was super lazy and didn't care about me, and that's why they dumped my fries out. But you're telling me put it on its side,
Open
and it gets
bag,
enough vent.
Turn it on the side.
It gets the moisture out, but the heat stays in.
But not super fast. But you don't want it like cooking with the bag closed. So that's the key.
So amazing. Lynn says, try McDonald's in Paris. You will change your mind. Is that a Royale with cheese?
Yeah.
I love it, Lynn. That's awesome. I may do this. Okay. All right. All right. Number 4.
Okay. Number 4. Wendy's.
Now we're getting.
So I'm a Wendy's guy at heart. If I'm choosing Wendy's or McDonald's, I'm going Wendy's. Just love their options. Junior bacon cheeseburger at 1 a.m. tastes really good. They got more of a natural cut French fry than McDonald's does.
Yes.
Spicy chicken sandwich.
It's got a little skin on the tip.
The original spicy chicken sandwich they've had for decades.
And those 2 for $5s weren't they doing the 2 for $5?
The 4 for $4 or 5 for $5 promos they got. Good options there. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely. Are you a fry and the frosty guy? You ever do that?
I did as a kid. I'm not right now. Though.
Yeah, too much self-respect. Gotcha. Janet, I feel like you and I are simpatico. I only ever get chili at Wendy's. There was a moment in time where I got chili at Wendy's, and I will also respect the fact that Wendy's actually has a hot sauce. They'll actually give you there's hot sauce. So, yeah, people are loving the fry tip. By the way,
there you go. Blow your mind. Hey, we bring insights here.
That's what we do. Cutting edge stuff here. Number 3.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah. Come on.
Okie doke.
All right, a little regionalized.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this an Atlanta thing or is this a Chi-Town?
They get all the way up to Indianapolis,
but they're not up here in the Chi.
No, it stops at Indianapolis.
But I like how you've mapped this, by the way.
Yeah. So Waffle House, I mean, it's regional, I know, but we're talking late night. You can get to 4 or 5 a.m. on late night here. Waffle House does require, obviously, going in, counter service. There's a little more time involved.
But sometimes that's the funnest part too.
Exactly.
Because if you're at a point where you're willing to walk into a Waffle House at, frankly, any time, but probably 3 a.m., you're going to have a hoop while you're in there.
Right. And we're at that time period where breakfast could be an option. We're in the a.m. time slot. So if you want to go smothered hash browns, you want a...
what's your hash brown order?
Just smothered.
Smothered, covered. They got all.
I forget when they add the cheese. We do that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that eggs they do a new bowl. And you can add sausage or bacon, on top of all their good stuff. So yeah, Waffle House. Quite frankly, it would be a little bit higher, but because you need to actually go in there and spend some extra time, that's the only reason it's really at 3. You need more time for Waffle House.
Trivia question: who sells the most T-bone steaks in the world?
I mean,
Waffle House.
is it? I was going to say Denny's is the other.
10,000 T-bones a day.
Wow. Did you just look that up?
I confirmed what I already know. You know, we are well researched here, stats and information.
So that's number 3.
All right, Jana says, Waffle House is always my first time once arriving in the USA, straight from the airport. You're wild. You're wild. I can't wait to do that trip in Orlando. I'm not a huge Waffle House guy.
Okay.
I'm there more.
Are you not a breakfast guy?
Let me tell you kidding me? Do I look like I skip meals, John? I'm more of a, I like Waffle House for the ambiance. I respect the Waffle House for the ambiance. Every time I go in there, I'm psyched to go in. Every time I leave, I'm like, why'd I do that?
It's a good crowd. It's a good blue collar, wholesome crowd.
Yeah. And you can like kind of talk to the cooks, kind of like they're in.
See
like,
it. It's all fun. It's an
right
experience.
there. Like, hey,
experience.
Can you throw like an extra slice on there? You know, try to talk them into doing some extra.
Right. It's great late night conversation.
So I'm going to revisit the question I prefaced this top 5 with. Are you going to be joining us out tonight at a Waffle House for 4th meal?
We drive into Indiana.
Yeah, I'm not going to put a cap on what we're doing.
We'll talk after the show.
No cap.
We'll talk after the
Number 2.
You got to have a pizza option in there, right? So we're projecting
Domino's and Pizza Hut.
Well, depending on where you live, like they're like
interchangeably.
the leader. Kind of depends on your part of the country who does it. But delivered pizza, if you're at a house party or whatnot.
Delivered. So this is delivered.
Yeah. This is
opposite of Waffle House. You never left your house.
Key because you don't have to leave.
Your couch locked.
Right. This is before Uber
Your
Eats.
couch locked. The doorbell rings, and you're like, "Who's getting it?"
Right.
Yeah.
So Domino's, they have those $5.99, things. You can get a plethora of options for the crowd. Who doesn't like pizza at 1 a.m.? It's a crowd pleaser. You got to have pizza on there. So those guys are number 2.
This is so amazing. I'm having so much fun with this. You were like, Ben, you're going to like this one. I'm like, all right, we'll see. No. Smash it. I don't agree with any of these, by the way, but I love the top 5. Number 1.
Got to do it. I played to your heart a little bit here.
Why do you say you played to my heart?
I love Taco Bell, man. How many times have you called me where you're in the drive-thru getting TV for lunch somewhere?
It's true. It's so true. People still say, oh my God. Bob Portali was on the other day. He's like, I remember like the first time I saw one of your videos, you were broadcasting live from a Taco Bell talking about the GHC military contract.
Breaking news from TV Park.
I'm in a 3-piece suit and I'm eating the chalupa and I'm like coming to you live from my car.
I mean, late night Mexican. Come on.
I love
so many options. Their menu's always changing. How they figure out all these combinations of cheese and tortilla and lettuce and beef and chicken, and they come up with so many options. It's incredible. The product design team there is amazing.
Incredible.
Crowd pleasers.
Can you guys tag somebody at Taco Bell right now? Can somebody Google Taco Bell CEO, some people, the test kitchen people? Please look them up on LinkedIn. I want to know who the CEO of Taco Bell. I think it's Yum Brands, the test kitchen people. Just tag somebody, please, that works at Taco Bell. Please, I'm being serious right now. LinkedIn, at them in the comments, shout them out for the good work they do. We appreciate them so much. And
there you go.
The fact that they not only went to fire sauce, which was at the time mild, medium, hot. They said, you know what, fire has to happen.
Yep.
You know what they did, John? They said, you know what, we can do better.
Mm-hmm. They're amazing innovators.
Diablo.
They keep thinking of all different combinations. It's incredible. Dollar Cravings menu, a lot of options for lower cost items too.
There is a lot of shade in the comments right now, John.
They're not liking it?
There's some glaring omissions.
Well,
there's some notable snubs.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear them.
Lizzie Beats. John, come on.
Yeah.
You were from the burbs. No White Castles?
I have never really been a White Castle guy.
4 sliders, mott sticks, 6 rings, cheese fries, and a Coke. Boom! Way to lay it down, Lizzie Beats.
Bring it.
Jana says, I'm a foodie, but I would not refuse any of the top 5 from today. Junk food. I was literally having a conversation
we all have
about
guilty pleasures. No one wants to admit it, but
I was having a conversation with Jean.
2 a.m. 2 a.m. A little feeling good. Gun to your head. You're choosing one of those 5.
Feeling good. Gun to your head. That is a Chicago night out. Okay, that is what's gonna happen tonight. Gun to my head. Feeling good. Feeling good. Homemade White Castle burgers will change your mind, John. Homemade White Castle. That sounds like an oxymoron. What am I missing? Liz Martin, The Depot, Maxwell Street. You know this spot?
I'm a suburb guy. I don't know all the Chicago spots, and we were sticking to chains too. Remind us that.
Okay, well here's a chain.
And I would have had Portillo's on here, but they close early. They close at 10, 11 o'clock, just like Five Guys.
Just like Five Guys.
I'm talking. It's got to be open at 2 a.m. That's the cutoff, and we say late night, right? So
I agree with you.
Some didn't make the cut because there is no late night option.
I agree with you. I respect you. You made a hard call. That's what leadership's all about. You make the hard call and you stick with it. And I dig it. This is great. John, I'm trying to talk you into all sorts of stuff. Elena, respect. Hashtag go hot or go home. I love it. Elena, you're the best. John, we're way over.
We went over, man. We're like in the 13th inning, I think.
What are we?
We didn't even get to that. We
bump some reruns of View from the Top? Come on. Listen, here's the thing.
We didn't even mention that we're top 100 global mobility professionals. You didn't even lead with that.
I'm boycotting it. I don't care. All right. Here's the thing. We're in Buffalo Grove. A lot of people don't ever get here, John.
Okay.
I feel like we should.
Do we still have viewers at this point?
No, but we don't do it for the viewers. We do it for us, John. Okay. Yeah, we have 6 people on Facebook and maybe some people on LinkedIn. It's undetermined. Hey, if you're still watching this right now and you want a tour of the office, put it in the comments. If you want us to stop talking right now, close it up. Let me know. For first 3 votes wins. You want us to keep going? Let us know. You want us to shut it down? Let it go. We got one. We got one for tour of the office.
Syndication list forever. This will be another video on YouTube. And
hit that like button right now. Let people know we're about to take a tour of the office. So far, we need one more. One more tour of the office. We're gonna shut her down. Francine's the only one. Tour. Oh man, the tours are hard. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna follow you around, John,
and
you're gonna give us like the lifestyles of the Relo and Famous here. Okay.
Give a shot of the setup here.
Right? All right, yeah. Here we go. Oh, people need to know what kind of bootleg situation we're working with right here, or at least me. Yeah, Elena saying show us. Okay, cool. How are we gonna do this? We're going to unplug my mic. Bear with me, y'all. Here we go. I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. My producer even quit on me. This is great. Can you hear me? Let me just double check this. Elizabeth says I've been there, but I want a tour. That's great. That's great, Lizzie. Test. Hey, we're live. This is great. All right. Oh, let's kill John's. Let's kill John here. Remove him from the stream. All right. Let's see here. We're going for the tour, y'all. All right. All right. Here's the setup. Can you see the screen there? Look at that. This is what we were working for, people. Can you believe how many books we had under here? We got the mic going. We had lights going. I got a water bottle that I've been crushing because it's like 80 in here. This is great. I got a fan, which is a secret to me keeping it all together. This is a cool spot, though.
Yeah. So this is our interior lounge. Okay. So we do, like I said, intercompany meetings. We have suppliers come in here and do meetings. We might do conference calls in here, just kind of get a more living room-ish feel to our meetings. Got a big screen here to prop things up on. Just more of a casual, environment for the team. And then it looks out, then if you can turn around, into the floor through that glass.
You might have to speak up because I don't think you're
space. Yeah, so you're now viewing the floor through the glass space of our office.
You want to do a quick little run through?
Yeah, sure.
So see what the Wi-Fi does.
All right, so that was my office.
This is where the magic happens. I know you were all wondering what's on the strategy board. Who knows? Something about work ethic.
All right, so this is our floor. So
wow.
This is where our relocation consultants hang out, our associates, our operations support team.
How's my angle?
Nice corner suite, lots of light, big space units.
You do have some
We're
nice
not all
wide-
fully back yet, so
wide
we'll
cubes.
hopefully get people back.
Are
here.
these glass partitions for the COVID?
Yes.
Cool. That's cool. Well, safety first.
Another
This is cool.
Another kind of quick meeting zone here.
Yeah, I like that. Where was that hand lotion before, dude? I'm like, this is great.
So there's some offices down this wing here that we don't need to go through, but
This is cool. And that's that room we were just in right there.
there's the back side of that room.
It's funny. I can see on your computer our little. This is great. John, how are the comments looking over here?
Through here.
How are the comments? You got any questions, John? Come here. Check out the comment. I can't read the comments.
Nice artwork. Yeah.
Nice.
So you like it?
Nice. Awesome.
And we'll just try to show you down through here. Got our IT room down here in this space.
Hey, how's it going, man?
All right.
All right. Good to hear. Very OSHA compliant right here. Very nice. Very nice. Trash, recycle, trash.
And, so this is another kind of shared space. We have our kitchen side
It's nice.
right here. And then we have our seating area also for the staff. So
Nice.
we do,
Do you do team meetings in here?
yes, Wednesday meetings with the team. We come in here and do that. Obviously, we haven't done that in a while. We have lunch and learns in here. There's another TV screen also included here. Suppliers come in, talk about their industry, changes, whatnot, bring some lunch, have a good time. This room also has an interior, glass.
Yeah, this is
So-
cool. Like look out to the atrium kind of
Yeah,
deal. So
yeah.
it's glassed in, but it's a look out to the.
So even on the interior spots, we have glass kind of everywhere. So it's just a nice vantage point.
Awesome, man. There we go. All right. That's awesome. This is great. What'd y'all think about that? Let me know here. This is fun. Do you guys like this? Jeff Nadeau, one more time.
Probably a little dizzy.
They are. They're getting seasick over here. Hey, did you guys like this live experience right here with John and I? If you did, I'd love to do more of these. So if you want me to do an in-person, let me know. I'll come out, not all at once. But yeah, I'd love to do more of this kind of stuff. Anyway, man, I think it's a wrap. I think we've done this long enough. Hey, everybody, thanks so much for being here. Tomorrow's a travel day for me, but it's going to be live with Brian Liparopoulos and Chuck White from IAM. It's going to be live week. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be live with Hosea Botley, president of Aversal Global Relocation in Dallas at my house, which is going to be cool. So anyway, hey, everybody, have a great one. Take care.